Hola chicos, bienvenidos a otra parte de Tangle Tower. Vamos a seguir, recién habíamos conocido a varios personajes la vez pasada y nos quedaban muchos otros por conocer, ya habíamos visto a dónde teníamos que ir. Así que, sin más preámbulo, vamos allá. Habíamos llegado con Poppy, así que vamos a conocer a Poppy. Tenemos un montón de lo que preguntarle a Poppy. Ay, qué miedo, Poppy.
Are you a ghost?
Sally, that's rude.
Ay, qué miedo.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Bueno,
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice.
what?
I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
Two of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... Things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
Me encanta que esto me di cuenta hace rato, pero no lo había dicho. Los fellows se llaman con F, Flora, Fifi, Freya, y los pointer con P, Poppy, Percival el padre.
3.5 hours of piano practice, soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
Wink, wink.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Esto les voy a decir, está re interesante. El caso está re interesante. Quiero saber qué onda. Fitz, wink wink. Guiño guiño.
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way.
What?
That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that would be kinda cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
¿Qué? Me dio así como medio wop cuando empezó cuando la enfocaron a Poppy, red tétrico.
Hard of head, but free of mind. Unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond. Behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied, it's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be.
Listo, entonces así se maneja Poppy. Con eso,
Between the lips, a silver spoon.
esa poesía.
A story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
Encima me di cuenta que no le preguntamos a los que ya habíamos hablado sobre los que nuevo hablamos. Así que bueno, después voy a ver.
Foregone drifter, holding fast. Days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender? Accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom. Some four walls make round a room. With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
No le iba a preguntar sobre todos porque me medio aburren esas poesías. Pero bueno, ya que estamos, ya terminamos.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling. Stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
Bueno. Y a ver.
Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano. Is that a gardening trowel?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Never seen him use it.
Cara dura. Ella se lo regaló, seguro.
That belongs to Flora, I think.
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is unshakable.
Vamos a preguntarle por las cintas.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody?
Bueno.
This is mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
Encima pensando que eso era... lo encontramos de casualidad, digamos, al principio. Me llama mucho la atención esa cinta.
When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife, with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything. It was my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes. Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone? Or signed by anyone?
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you.
No sé qué más preguntarle.
Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
So there are 2 families living in Tangle Tower?
Mm-hmm. 3 pointers and 5 fellows. 4 fellows.
What's the connection between them?
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora is a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the Fellows and the Pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your
Interesante.
father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea.
Datazo, interesante.
There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
What do you make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird.
Esa estatua que esté en el principio y no sepa a qué hace referencia me molesta. Pero bueno.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
Vamos ahora. Que el cuarto de Poppy es algo nuevo. Cuarto de Poppy.
There's something about that diary we found in Fifi's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Espera. Recién entramos acá.
More handwritten sheet music.
Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor. Always a good omen.
It's an eye. More handwritten sheet music.
A lamp. It is most definitely turned off. Empty. Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles. Wouldn't want it to be dark in here. Anything in the wardrobe?
Dresses mostly. I never realized there were so many shades of black.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
Ay, lo amo.
It's a metronome for keeping time.
A ver. Puzzle.
Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
A ver. Ah. Y lo tengo que llevar allá.
There we go.
¡Esa!
Perfect.
Este no estaba tan difícil.
What happened?
Little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph. Heart of a photograph.
La parte que falta. La parte que falta. Mirala. A Poppy. La foto rota muestra a una joven con pelo rubio vestida de rosa. La chica de la foto está usando un reproductor de cassette de color rosa vivo con cascos a juego. El resto de la foto muestra a Fifi y Freya. Estaba escondida en la habitación de Freya, no, de Poppy.
There's something about that pink cassette tape. Something suspicious.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
Esperen. Todavía no terminamos acá.
Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing. Sheet music.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
Casi que no toco eso. No puedo creer que sea una pista.
There's a name for this kind of piano. You know, these ones that stand upright. A big glass door leads out into a garden. Somehow.
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
¿Estás seguro? Sí, me imaginé que iba a tener que ver con el que vimos en la pieza de Fitz, perdón. Me toca acordar dónde estaban los soles. Ahí y acá 3. Perfecto. Quiero ir
we'll come back later.
Quiero ir a la pieza de Fitz. Arriba. Espero acordarme. Ahora estoy en duda.
It's locked.
I
But
thought
we are.
What's that thing by the hand?
Uno acá y acá. Y las lunas. Perfecto.
Let's come back once we...
A big glass door leads out.
There's a little mechanism.
Era así.
Nothing.
All
Still,
4
those
times.
other symbols look like suns.
I think it is.
No, o sea, así.
Something happened.
That must
¡Esa!
be it.
¡Lo logré!
And the door's still locked.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress.
Ah, tenía que... Yo pensé que directamente iba a poder, tengo que hacer los puzzles, digamos, en los dos. O sea, seleccionar que lo hice, digamos.
It's locked.
I thought
we are.
What's that thing by the hand?
Claro. Que Mongi. Perdón. Ahí está.
It made a noise.
I guess that was right.
Ahora sí.
Finally, it's open.
Whatever's on the other side.
Vamos a ver qué onda. Jardín de la azotea.
It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing headphones.
Cascos le dicen a los
Well, they're not part
auriculares.
of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
Y no son, encima. Bueno. Una estatua ligeramente erosionada de una extraña criatura sosteniendo un laúd. Han colocado un par de orejeras en la cabeza de la estatua.
It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very well cared for.
The roses are bright red, too.
Now, aren't roses normally that color?
Exactly.
¿Qué tiene que ver?
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges, too?
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
Ah, a little water feature.
It's making me sleepy.
Wonder how it's hooked up.
Qué lindo lugar este.
Giant stone frog? Love it.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
La cantidad de cosas que estamos encontrando. Las plumas estaban sobre todo en la lengua de la gran rana de piedra y ninguna de las plumas es del pájaro bañotinta.
More egg statues.
I don't get it. Why eggs?
Well, either they have some special significance, or the sculptor was just really lazy.
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape to make.
Oh, good. A bridge. I'm glad to know there's a way to get across that tiny, tiny pond.
Not all bridges are about getting across stuff. That's one big dragonfly.
Or one very small dragon.
More egg statues.
I don't get
Well,
it.
I
What
was
do
called.
you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest.
Trees.
In a garden.
In a garden. On a roof.
Bueno, creo que estamos.
It's so relaxing. I might just stay here.
Oh, shall I go finish the investigation on my own?
That'd be great.
Bueno. Bien. Ay, nos falta hablar también que acá estaba Penélope y acá el profesor. Bueno, pero vamos primero con estas dos. Tenemos cosas para preguntarte, Fifi. Antes de la sospecha.
Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought he was just a gardener.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. He's well over 6 foot and you've got to be just barely 5.
So what's your problem with him?
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying a knife.
¡Datazo, Fifi!
Name, Poppy Pointer. Age, 19. Profession, oh. Apparently Poppy has defaced my notes. Under profession, I had of course originally written pianist, but she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Bueno. No, las cosas.
Who is that in the photo?
I'm quite sure that I have no idea.
Buah. Buah, buah.
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues. What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds. I think.
My argument stands.
Bueno. Sospecha de Fifi.
Is this your diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
You seriously require an explanation. Very well. A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by girls between the ages of 10
So, there are secrets written in here?
Secretos de
This particular
Fifi.
diary is unused.
Ah.
It doesn't look unused.
Oh. No es... Oh. Ay, no sé.
It's Fifi's diary, and she has written in it.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
¿No es ningún diario o es el diario de otra persona?
It's not a diary at all.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
Que entonces de otra
This
persona.
particular diary is unused.
No parece de
It
otra
doesn't
persona.
look unused.
It's somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion?
Exacto.
It is kept in my bedroom. It is mine.
Es de
We need
Freya.
clue to compare with the diary. Something to prove who the original owner was.
¿Tengo la prueba? ¿La pista? Acá. Ya lo estoy viendo de lejos. Es de Freya. Tenía razón.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Este libro azul se parece un poco a el diario secreto. No, espera, ¿se parece un poco? Es lo mismo que el diario secreto, lo que demuestra que era de Freya.
This blue book is the same
Perfecto.
thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
Así es.
You were hiding Freya's diary in your room, and you kept it locked, too.
Why would I do either of these things?
Bueno. Freya destruyó, pensó que no había, que no quería que nadie viera, no sabía de, siempre desconfiaba de... Ay, no sé. Los secretos personales... No, Freya destruyó los secretos personales que se guardaba, que había entrado un libro en la biblioteca, que se había entrado en el jardín. Ay, no sé. Freya pensó que no había una carta secreta. Ay, no sé. Freya, que no... Espera. Los secretos personales que no quería que nadie viera, Freya... Que se ve entrar en el jardín.
Personal secrets.
No.
Didn't want anyone to see. Freya, buried in the garden.
No. Ah... Los secretos... No. Fifi... Que no quería... Secretos personales. Del diario de Freya. Fifi... Pensó que no... No. Que no quería que nadie viera.
Fifi
Oh.
didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary.
¡Le pegué!
Is this true, Fifi?
I know Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something,
You did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing, in her own way. By concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her innocence.
Innocence?
might be easier if you just let us read the diary, Fifi.
Dale,
Very
Fifi.
well. I will open it.
Gracias, Fifi.
However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
All right, Fifi unlocked the diary.
Finally. What's in there?
Ha vuelto, esta vez en carne y hueso. ¿Fui yo? ¿Lo dejé salir? Tal vez debería romper ese cuadro. El portaalmas funciona. Qué cosita más impresionante. Ahora tengo 2, necesito otros 2 más. He encontrado el camino hasta el medio. Sorprendentemente fácil en comparación con el arpa. Los he visto, a los 5, los ojos se oscurecieron. No entiendo nada y me da miedito. Pese a todo, aún tengo una promesa que cumplir. Haré lo que pueda, a ella le vendría bien algo de compañía. No sé de qué está hablando Freya. Demonios. Sospecha ya está.
What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
Como Freya, ay mi amor. Y me gustó preguntarle a Poppy del
I
expediente,
require
así que...
facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife.
Bueno. Y vamos con Poppy, que tenemos info para Poppy. Ay, la música así re tenebrosa.
I don't know what that is.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, my room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there. I don't mean like... Please stop talking to me.
Bueno,
Yeah, it's mine.
What's so special about it?
I got it from my teacher. It's the first piece I ever learned.
How long have you been playing?
since the day I turned 6. Family tradition. I was really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next day, Freya was there too. She hadn't asked permission, just showed up. For 2 whole years, the teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any good?
She would have been even better than me, if she'd stuck with it. But one day, she just stopped coming to lessons.
Why?
That's just it. There was no reason. That's when I realized things were different for her.
Esto está re interesante.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Bueno.
Do you know where those earmuffs came from?
I put them there.
Why?
I found them lying around. I think they belonged to Fitz. I put them on the statue so he'd see them. I thought they looked like headphones, like he's in the recording studio with his guitar. No?
If they do belong to Fitz, he hasn't taken them back yet. When did you find them?
This morning.
Where?
I don't know, in a hallway. Can't remember exactly.
Encima estoy tan hecha que la verdad que no tengo ni... Uy, la declaración me olvidé. La sospecha. No tengo ninguna sospecha. Yo no sé quién fue.
I need to confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm away.
What can you tell us about this cassette tape? Is it yours?
It belongs to Freya. She liked to have music playing while she was painting, you know.
And do you know what kind of music is on this tape?
No idea. Acid jazz?
It's piano music. Sounds an awful lot like your music, to be honest.
Sure it doesn't
Datazo.
belong to you?
Why are we even talking about this? Cassette tapes have been redundant for a good few years now.
The tape was found at the crime scene. It was in the gramophone.
It's not mine. I'd never own anything like that.
Pero
Why
yo tengo
not?
una foto, Poppy.
Not my color.
Poppy, yo tengo una foto que demuestra que es tuyo.
You used to like these colors.
Ridiculous.
We need a clue to compare with the cassette tape. Something that proves Poppy used to like these colors.
Yo tengo esa pista.
Let's take a closer look at this.
La cinta de cassette rosa es una versión, es mucho más grande que encontramos que encontramos en la escena del crimen. El Walkman rosa que usaba Poppy en esta vieja foto.
The pink cassette tape found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player used by Poppy in this old photo.
Ahí tenés, Poppy, en tu
That is
cara.
not me.
En tu
Yeah,
cara,
it is.
Poppy.
I'll prove it.
Upa. Aw.
You look a little different, but Fifi and Freya are pretty recognizable. It's clearly a photo of you with your 2 best friends. Why'd you tear it up? And then hide it?
I think the answer is pretty straightforward.
La foto muestra que Poppy es la asesina. Ahora Poppy odia a Fifi y a Freya. Poppy ya no quiere tener ese aspecto.
Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore.
That's it. Makes this whole thing seem kind of irrelevant.
Maybe. It depends on the reason.
The reason she doesn't want to look like that anymore?
The passage of time is a powerful thing.
Hold on. This means that pink cassette tape does belong to you, Poppy.
It used to. I recorded some piano music onto it and gave it to Freya as a gift. Years ago.
Freya could have easily been listening to this tape at the exact moment she was killed. There's gotta be a connection between the tape, the gramophone, and the murder.
There's one other thing I want to know. How did it get that crack down the middle?
I have no idea.
Hay algo sobrenatural dando vueltas por acá. Ah, esto cada vez tiene más profundidad, complejidad. Vamos a conocer a Penélope. Hola, querida.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! In that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little
Las alas.
ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
Esa, un nuevo personaje.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle.
¿Qué personaje posta?
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you
El
talking
marido.
about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz fellow.
The very one.
Esa no la
You're
esperaba.
engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
Esa no la esperaba. Ahora sí sé por qué es la cosa de que Poppy y Fitz tengan algo. Yo no sabía. Yo pensé que todo el mundo sabía de Poppy y de Fitz. ¡Guau!
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course. And they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
Bueno.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower. She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
Hey.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
Encima es como que a todos les caía bien Freya, supuestamente.
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them.
Yeah.
They'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Ajá.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
Bueno.
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh, I mean, well, you don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
Bueno.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable. She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow.
Buah.
I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility.
Datazo.
Do you not know that?
Datazo.
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait, is that me?
Yo no te la puedo. No te la puedo. Y vamos por Flora, que es la última.
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one
Tenemos
point.
varias
I
cosas
think
que
her father
mostrarle
taught her.
a
Are
Penny.
you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
No sonó muy
She's
convencida.
one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
Buah.
Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable hogshot woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
Hey.
You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you.
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, Thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
Bueno, a ver, a Penny le vamos a preguntar por el libro de aves.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is
Gato.
very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one, well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
Las plumas.
Oh, there used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question.
¿Qué más le puedo preguntar? ¿La estatua?
Lovely.
Bueno. Es que no me acuerdo qué más había para preguntarle a Penny porque había.
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though.
Los dibujos de Flora.
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
Bueno. No sé, los dibujos de Freya.
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
Sin darme
All of
cuenta.
them. Even this one of...
Yes.
El de Fritz y Poppy. ¡Ah! No me di cuenta, fue sin querer.
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
No sé ahora si es Poppy o Penny. No, porque era Pep.
Oh,
Ay,
did Fitz show
No.
We
perdón,
found
perdón.
it hidden.
Ah,
Fue sin querer. Ya está, no sé. Por el momento.
goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it.
No sé, por el momento creo que estoy. Vamos a preguntarle por el retrato y ya está.
I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think?
Vamos,
It's Flora that's the problem.
vamos a preguntarle
She's an
también por
inescapably
el...
haunting presence.
Por eso que estaba roto. La estatua.
Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Bueno. Ya estoy. Por ahora creo que con Penny estoy.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Genial.
Now, like, right now?
Esperen.
Does this count as being outdoor?
Yeah. No, doesn't matter.
Bueno. Lo que yo quería ver... Me olvidé. Había algo que quería ver y me olvidé. Pero bueno. Listo, Penny. Y vamos a la última habitación. ¿Qué tenemos? Porque también tenemos cosas para preguntarle a Fitz. A Félix hace 1000 que no vamos. Cuarto de Penny. Ah, y tenemos que hablar con el profesor Pointer.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence. That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
Esta es para preguntarle a Fitz. Una flor de vivos colores con una forma inusual, se la ve muy sana y bien cuidada. La tierra de la maceta parece fresca y húmeda, también es de un color azul inusual. Me hace acordar a la que estaba en la pieza de Fitz, que estaba triste.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds?
Puzzle.
They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
Pero que tengo la cámara, me tapa justo lo que hay que hacer. Cambia las posiciones de los 7 pájaros. Ya está, no me dice. Ah, el color ya bueno, el color está bien. No, no sé cuál es. Sí, blanco. No. No, creo que. Tal vez lo vale. Ya tiene los ojos cerrados. Va, no cerrados, diferente. Por ejemplo. Está bien, está bien. Es único que sirve blanco, no puede ser nada. Los ojos tienen que ver porque no puede ser. ¿O no? A ver, espera un segundo. ¿Por qué?
I guess that's wrong.
The family tree. The colors and eyes combine as they go down the family line. You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
Ah, viste el ojo también. Ajá. Esto tiene sentido. Para el color y los ojos. Perfecto. Ahora. Esto sí te creo. ¿Y así?
That's the one.
Hey, not bad. Did the door open? What's in there?
Ahora un trozo de papel arrancado y hecho una bola. En su interior había pétalos de flores rojas. El papel tiene garabateado un mensaje aireado. Ahora iré a por ella. Los pétalos de flor proceden de rosas rojas que crecen en el jardín de la azotea. Solo pensé.
A little bedtime reading?
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
Nice.
A little tea set. Most recently used.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them. Penny's books. Mostly novels.
This is the fanciest room so far.
Too fancy.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You know, the birds can easily get in and out of those cages.
Well, if that's true, can they even be considered cages?
¿Verdad? Bueno. Vamos a preguntarle a Penny por la carta esa. El papel arrugado.
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we found it.
Resolvimos el puzzle.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with the petals?
It's really none of your business.
Y la flor en maceta.
Yes, it's my my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
Bueno.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
Sí, estaba por ir a preguntarle a Fitz. Le quiero preguntar sobre la carta y la flor. Antes de sospechar de él. Y vamos a preguntarle de Penny y de Poppy.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good.
Poppy.
Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that.
Amigos.
Clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong?
Vamos a preguntarle por las cosas. Vamos con la foto también.
Any idea who this is?
No idea.
Bueno. Ah, la estatua.
Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
Es como usar los auriculares desenchufados.
A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to. Those petals, they,
What?
they're red.
No me digas. Buah. Ah, no le pregunté por el expediente y por Tangle Tower.
Who gave you that information?
Well...
We don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
Ooh.
I never thought about that.
Ooh.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know?
Nice painting. Gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms.
And those mountain cliff things around the outside?
We don't know much about them. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's speculative. There are no photographs from this angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
Let's call it an informed estimation.
¿En qué estaba metida Freya? ¿La estatua?
What's with the broken glass?
Bueno. Y bueno, y vamos a sospecha.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer Tower. Holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
Fifi mintió sobre lo de haber visto a Fitz. Fifi vio a Fitz, pero él llevaba otra cosa. Y sin duda Fifi vio a Fitz con un cuchillo en la mano. Creo que la segunda.
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
¿La paleta? A ver.
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
Ajá. Fitz. Oh, a ver, espera. Ay, no sé. La paleta ornamentada es lo único que puede destruir la fruta de la maceta. Uy. En el jardín, en el cuarto de Penny.
An ornate trowel is the only thing that can destroy the potted fruit in Penny's room. No.
Una flor en la maceta es lo que usa Fitz para cuidar. ¿No habrá sido? Se usó para enterrar una sola pluma en el cuarto de Penny.
An ornate
No.
trowel was used to bury a single feather in Penny's room. That's not right.
Una paleta ornamentada es lo que usa Fitz para cuidar de la planta en el cuarto de Penny.
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
Ah,
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
bueno. La fruta en la maceta. Porque tiene la misma tierra y la misma maceta.
Let's take a closer look at these.
Ajá. La tierra. La maceta y la tierra. Y la maceta y la tierra. La maceta y la tierra del cuarto de Penny coincide con la maceta y la tierra. Lo encontramos en el invernadero de Fitz.
The pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's
Soy
greenhouse.
alta detective.
Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again, when she's not there. Water the flower, change the soil. Just trying to keep it alive.
¿Ya está? ¿Listo? Bueno. Datazo. No me dice mucho más, pero bueno, datazo. Vamos a, bueno, lo que nos queda, que es la habitación del profesor Pointer. Va, no la habitación, arriba. Y vamos a dejar por acá hoy. Bueno, chicos, acá dejamos hoy. La verdad que está muy interesante. Y hay algo, hay gato encerrado y algo más acá. No sé en qué estaba metida Freya, pero está muy interesante. Así que espero que les esté gustando. Y nos vemos en la próxima con más Tangle Tower.
Si te gustó este video, danos ese like y suscríbete. Pásaselo a tus amigos.
Y no olvides seguirnos en nuestras redes sociales para enterarte de las novedades. Desde ya, muchas gracias.
Y nos vemos en la próxima odisea.